Hey, good day. We're back again for another fun paint lesson. I'm going to keep it really simple for the kids, and that won't be the case next week. I'm going to add a bit of a challenge. Anyways, so what we need is four colors. Doesn't really matter what colors you would like. I just picked these colors, but you can pick the same, which is green, red, pink, and yellow. And then we're going to finish it off with black. And then I've got another added touch to the painting. Again, you can just do what you'd like to do. Um, you need a couple of thin brushes and a thicker brush only if you're not going to use the sponges, because how we're going to do this today is we're going to use sponges. So if you don't have any sponges, then you can always just use a paintbrush and blend in what I'm about to show you. If you do have sponges, then cut them into four little sponges, one for each of these colors. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with pouring the first paint into the tray. And like I say, we're going to do like a sponging technique. So I'm going to pour this nice green in here, and then we're going to do away with it. And I'm going to dip my sponge in the paint that I've already poured in there. And we are going to start doing some sponging techniques. And we're going to just work it along the bottom and maybe curve it up just a little bit. Just have a lot of fun just dabbing the sponge. Okay, and just curve it up at your ends a little bit. And if you don't have four sponges, that's okay, because as long as you use the other end or you rinse it out really well, but then you've got to squeeze out all the water really well as well, because you don't want your paints all watery. So if you've only got one sponge to work with, that's okay. So I'm going to continue to sponge a little bit more. Maybe add some more paint to it. Okay, and then I'm going to do my next color. So the next one I have in line is this red. I'm going to pour some more here. Doesn't sound like I have, oh, I think I probably poured a little bit too much. Anyway, same thing. You just dip your sponge in it and you sponge over top of the edges, making a new. You can blend it a bit into the green here. And like I say, if you don't have any sponges, you can always use, a thick brush, one like this or a little bit thicker, and you can just kind of blend it in. But the sponging's fun, and it gives it a really neat effect of being blended. And again, you can add some more paint if you want. And you can use whatever colors you want. Okay, I think I'm done with that one. Next one I'm going to do is pink. And we're going to make almost like the colors of the rainbow. And you know what? I'd actually like to see this a little bit more blended down here. So I'm going to just kind of blend it in a little bit better. Because it looked like it was just too much of a line. So you see how they're sort of going into each other. And same with up here. I'm going to blend it a little bit more because I don't want it to be so defined. I want them to kind of blend into each other. There we go. That's a little bit better. And then the last color I'm going to use is yellow. And like I say, blend them in together. I don't think I used enough yellow. Maybe blend it, just very softly touch it so that it kind of blends in, so you don't have such a defined line. And don't be afraid to go over the other color. Okay, we are going to let that dry before we go on to the next step. Be right back. Okay, we are back. And so the next color we're going to use is our black. We're going to finish this off. And we're going to use our paint brushes. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to do, I don't know why, but I find trees pretty easy and a lot of fun. So actually I'm going to start off with the smaller brush. You can either work your way from the bottom up or you can work your way from the top down. So in this case, I'm going to work my way from the top. And we're just going to make some nice branches. And of course, the closer you get to the bottom, you want to make it a little bit thicker, so you press down more on the brush. Actually, I think I might try and use this brush after all. You don't want a really, really, really thick brush, but the closer you get to the bottom, you're going to make it thicker. You're going to bring it all the way down. And then with my smaller brush, I'm going to do some really, really crazy branches. They're all going to be really kind of wiggly. And join them into the main branch. Just make them really kind of crazy and curvy, and then just join them into the main branch. And here's another one. You can do as many as you want. And you can make them kind of curly. So we're going to make a curly one here. And join it into the other branch. Maybe we'll make another curly one right up here. Find I have to keep dabbing into my black and join it into that branch. And maybe make another curly one here. You can always turn the board too if you find that easier, just so that your hand doesn't get into the paint, or you can wait for it to dry before doing the next step, whatever you prefer to do. And it looks like I got a little bit of black on it. So just continue to do all kinds of little curly branches, one off of another, you know, do some, it's relatively easy. As many as you want, but we're going to make them kind of crazy. We're not just going to do, we're just going to make them kind of really, really crazy and off. Just as many crazy branches as you want. The more the better. Just like I say, keep doing as many as you'd like to do. I'm going to fix it up here a little bit. And then I'm going to make another tree so that they're going to crisscross. I'm going to do it somewhere like right there. I'm going to change my brush. And we're going to bring this one all the way down to here. And we're going to bring it all the way down to the end. Maybe fix it up a little bit because I think I was going a little bit too fast there. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do some branches off of this one. I don't know why my paint seems to be drying very fast. And we're just going to continue making more branches off of here. And I think what I'm going to do is stall it until we see the final production. Okay, the reason why I put it on pause is because, as you can see, you can just literally go crazy and work on this for hours. So it's a good way to keep the kids occupied or yourself. I just decided to finish there, but like you could just go crazy with the branches just all going wherever you want them to go. And you could either just leave it at that, you know, a nice easy painting, at least I hope it was, or you can, I've got a bottle of glitter glue right here, and so you can put the odd little, you know, speck of glitter just to add to it on certain, almost like leaves. You can put at the end of some of these branches. Oops. Just to kind of decorate it up a bit. Maybe don't want to do all of them, but just some. I'm wondering if I should just leave it at that. Maybe I'll just leave it at that. But you can keep going, and after everything's dried, again, I recommend painting the edges. I'm gonna do mine black, but you can do them whatever color you have in here. So hope you enjoyed today's lesson, and like I say, next week I'm gonna have something just a little bit more challenging. It's gonna have to do with perspective and a lot of blending. So until next week, we'll see you then.